Today, Bitcoin crosses above $24,000. The UK could make stablecoins a form of payment. And is the latest crypto rally here to stay? Arca's Talati thinks crypto markets have found a bottom. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Digital asset prices are rising yet again today thanks to new hope that the Fed will be less aggressive with raising interest rates. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin crossed $24,000. Ether traded right around $1,600. Meanwhile, Polygon's Matic token fell to 91 cents even after the platform launched new Ethereum scaling technology that will process transactions on the network for even cheaper. Now let's get you caught up on the top stories. First, a new report from the Bitcoin Mining Council found that nearly 60% of Bitcoin miners are using renewable energy, a 6% increase from a year ago. Of course, record heat waves across the US and Europe have put crypto mining's energy use in the spotlight. Texas mining facilities just came back online after intense strain on the state's power grid forced them to shut down. Next, the FBI is issuing a warning to consumers over rising crypto scams. The agency reported fake crypto apps scammed $42 million from U.S. consumers since October of 2021. The cybercriminals are developing convincing-looking crypto apps to lure in victims. One app called Yeebit stole $5.5 million. Lastly, UK regulators just introduced their long-awaited stablecoin bill. The bill paves the way for stablecoins to be used as payments and is part of the country's goal of becoming a major crypto hub. The bill is also part of a major overhaul of the UK's financial system and post-Brexit economy. Okay, for our main story of the day, I spoke to Talati of Arca about the multi-day crypto rally and whether it's a sign that the crypto market has bottomed.
I want to talk about a bottom. We have been looking in crypto and beyond crypto for that market bottom. We see these relief rallies. We ask if it's just that or, when we're going to see a really meaningful bounce. So do you think crypto markets have found a bottom yet? And if not, what is it that we're looking for?
I think we have found a bottom. If you haven't been following crypto, the events the last 2 months have really, I think, wiped out a lot of the leverage. We've had Celsius, one of the biggest crypto lenders, basically unwind and file for bankruptcy. Similarly, Three Arrows Capital, which was a large hedge fund and market maker that was very leveraged, also unwound. And I think that actually caused selling pressure that was much more exacerbated than the market actually, needed to be. And I think that was probably close to the true bottom. I don't think, however, that we're going to see an immediate kind of, spring back to life. Things are going to be just like they were earlier this year in Q1 and even last year. I think that, we may be in some sort of a sustained, not necessarily bear market where everything goes down, but kind of a no man's land where things are flat. That's why a lot of people have been watching the ETH merge, because it is like that next big catalyst. Just in the last week, there was a loose timeline or a loose date put out of September 19th. The Ethereum developer community has been very tentative about confirming it, and they've said a couple times this could be a week earlier, a week later. But the entire market has really been waiting for this specific catalyst, and so we saw a really broad-based rally led by Ethereum, based on this piece of news. I'm not sure if that's going to necessarily take us out of the bottom and lead us into kind of a rally. I think what you'll see is a lot of kind of head fakes and a lot of volatility and choppiness over the next several months.
Throughout this bear market, DeFi tokens have consistently outperformed Bitcoin and Ether. Are they still the safer investment here?
I can't say anything is a safe investment, but, I think DeFi in particular really is one of those, areas of the market that has really, really strong usage, lots of users, and lots of growth. It was the first thing that really outperformed the last, during the last bull market, we had DeFi summer in 2020. And so I think it's natural that people kind of go to, return to quality or flight to quality. In terms of, DeFi specifically, I would say some of the DeFi tokens that have rallied have had specific news around it, or around them. For example, Aave, Lend Borrow Protocol, they announced that they're going to introduce their own stable token. Uniswap, they announced that they had acquired one of the big NFT marketplace aggregators and that they were going to start allowing trading of NFT assets. DYDX, the front runner in the derivative space, they announced that they're going to be moving off of Ethereum to their own Cosmos-based app-specific chain. So I think that the blue chips within DeFi have been moving for very specific news. And I think that may have led to kind of a broader rally within the space. And then I also think, like I said, it's a combination of a flight to quality.
We've also seen a spate of regulatory action within the US, the UK, and Europe. How is that affecting prices?
I mean, regulation is always a scary headline, especially in digital assets. We've really been operating in, what we consider a gray area for so many years. I think regulation long term is super healthy. We need the clarity in the space. Projects really need the guidance, and we need that to kind of move forward. Unfortunately, the gut reaction for most people is scary headline, and they sell. So I think, while regulation might lead to some short-term pain, I think that we'll look back in 2 years and realize how healthy that was to flush out any projects that weren't kind of operating in the best interests of users and customers. And it really brought forward, projects that wanted to act, in the best fiduciary responsibility for customers, for clients, for investors.
Well, it's been a rough year for crypto. We know that that's not isolated, but and you're seeing this nice little bounce this morning that people are getting really excited about. And it seems like a lot of crypto investors, at least compared to when we've had these bearish periods in the past, are not as, scared off, I think, by the price pressure. What do you think is most important for crypto investors to know right now?
I think the most important thing to know is that, I would say the, rally that we're getting today, specifically in the last few days, particularly as we've seen Bitcoin trying to play catch up with Ethereum and some of the other tokens, is a lot of people have been saying that this is driven by new money in the space, which we've typically seen. Usually if, Bitcoin is doing really well, there's a couple reasons, and one of them, it's new money in the space. It's the first asset that people invest in. I think that down at these current levels, it's very attractive as a long-term entry point for a lot of people. And that's why, I think it's a good sign to see that even with market prices depressed, even with, the macro backdrop worldwide looking very dire, that people are still interested in digital assets and still want to participate in this ecosystem.
What are you seeing for the crypto market for the end of the quarter and for the end of the year?
I think end of the quarter, we'll probably have quite a bit of volatility. I think a lot of people, Q2 is very volatile. We had a lot of stuff going on. I think you're going to see, a lot of things happen around things like options expiry, around, asset prices at the month end time point. I think for the rest of the year, though, that, we're going to see a lot of the headlines obviously dominated by Ethereum. I think, like I said, we're going to see a return to kind of fundamentals, people really looking at projects for, what value do they drive outside of, just basic trading in the crypto ecosystem. What projects have real growth and user traction that are not crypto native users? Are they getting adoption from the broader, user base globally? And I think those are the things that I'll be looking for, at least as far as investments go.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today, but we'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll see you then.